Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark, Sara, and Pam. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Give us a listen at lydiamediallc.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. And by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it! At 6 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com. And remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
Let's take a look at some headlines for Tuesday, December 3rd.
A 17-year-old boy from Lewiston died in a single-vehicle crash on Route 4 in Auburn yesterday morning. The crash happened shortly after 7 a.m. near 3048 Turner Road. Police said speed and distraction were contributing factors. The crash remains under investigation.
Election officials began a hand recount of over 400,000 ballots cast in Maine's 2nd Congressional District race between incumbent Jared Golden and challenger Austin Theriault. Golden defeated Theriault by roughly 2,700 votes following a ranked choice runoff on November 15th. Theriault's campaign filed a recount request because the margin was under 1%. The process could take several weeks.
An Electric Ratepayer Advisory Council report reveals that nearly 100,000 Maine families struggle to keep up with their electricity bills. Maine has some of the highest electricity rates in the country. Low-income households spend about 8% of their income on electricity.
Lewiston and Auburn's official Christmas trees were installed over the holiday weekend. Lewiston's 47-foot tree will be the centerpiece for Saturday's holiday at the plaza, and Auburn's 35-foot balsam fir will highlight Sunday's Christmas parade and tree lighting. For more event information, visit the city's websites or social media. Time for the weather.
Weather today. Cloudy today with a high of 33 and a low of 17.
Brr.
Chance of snow tomorrow with a high of 33. 2 to 3 inches of snow on Thursday with temps in the high 30s. I don't mind the snow because I feel like it warms it up a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, we're looking at temperatures of 17 degrees.
I don't like the 17 degrees.
Not a huge
And
fan.
last week they were predicting 2 to 6 inches of snow, and we barely got a half inch.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
They don't know.
They don't know.
It's a guess.
They don't know nothing.
I know something about sports. Jaylen Brown scored 29 points and Peyton Pritchard added 25 off the bench as the Celtics beat the Miami Heat 108-89. Boston will host the Detroit Pistons tomorrow night.
The Bruins are back in action tonight. They'll host the Detroit Red Wings at 7.
Bates College basketball will host a doubleheader tonight at Alumni Gymnasium in Lewiston. The women tip off against Colby at 5:30 and the men take on Bowdoin at 7:30.
That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it is time for the podcast segment that is sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Brendan Fraser, 56 years old today.
I love him.
I probably can look and find out, but there was a movie I remember he played in. It was
Encino Man, School Ties, George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
He did good playing dumb. I don't know if it came naturally
He's good at that.
He was also in a Looney Tunes movie, I remember, because I watched it like 18 times, because it's when the kids were young.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yes, that's right. I loved him in the Mummy series.
Yep.
I just loved him.
Has
Go ahead.
anybody watched The Whale?
No,
No.
but I think my heart can't.
Yeah, I
think I love him
started
too
it
much.
and I was like, I can tell this is going to be intense, and
Yeah.
I wasn't in the mood for that. So
No.
I'm, like,
What's it
changing
about?
Wow.
He's a very obese person, and he has a live-in, or not, kind of a nurse that comes in and takes care of him. I just know it won a bunch of awards, and I could just tell with the acting and how it started that I was just like, this is going to be a lot of emotion
Yeah.
and difficult situations and topics that I was like,
Not the right time.
Yeah.
He won an Academy Award for Best Actor for that movie.
Yeah.
He sure did.
He's underrated.
the first Canadian to win an Academy Award.
Oh,
for
See,
Best
that's why we
Actor.
like him so much, because he's
Yeah.
Canadian.
That's right.
Canadian.
Oh, let's see here. Who is next? How about Julianne Moore,
Oh.
who is 64 years old today?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's the redhead from The Big Lebowski, right?
She sure is. She's won Academy Awards, a British Academy Film Award, a Golden Globe, an Emmy, and Time magazine named her one of the 100 most influential people in the world.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and the New York Times said she's one of the greatest actors of the 21st century. Daryl Hannah is 64 years old today.
Splash.
That's the
Yes.
first one I remember, too.
Same here.
Yeah. And then Roxanne with
Yeah, Steve Martin.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Roxanne. But of course, Steel Magnolias.
Oh, she's so fun in that one. She works for Truby.
Kill Bill, Volume 2.
right?
She played Elle Driver. Let's see. Yeah, she was also in Wall Street, directed by Oliver Stone.
Yeah, that was an old
And,
one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Blade Runner. She's been in a bunch.
She's done a lot of movies.
Singer Mickey Thomas of Jefferson Starship is 75 years old today. He was the male lead vocalist for Jefferson Starship from 79 to 84. And then Starship, which came out with We Built This City,
We built that city,
right? What was their other big hit?
fooled around and fell in
Well, that was one of his big hits. He was a singer for,
I'm like, I don't think that was the
for
other big
Bishop.
hit.
Bishop.
Yeah. Yeah, Fooled Around and Fell in Love. That was Mickey Thomas. Oh, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now,
Oh, yeah.
right? That was Starship's other big one, I think.
Sure.
Yes.
All right.
No, I think you're. That might not be the name, but I think that. Is that the name of the song?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. And
believe it.
rounding out FPBs for December the 3rd, the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne,
I don't know that guy.
is 76
that?
years old today. The godfather of metal.
How is he still
I
alive?
have no idea.
Because he's only
Sorry.
76.
I-
He just looks
I
so
know,
much
but the
older.
life that he's led, I mean, I think alcohol is the least of what
Right.
That's
his
probably
issues were.
Right.
keeping him alive.
Yeah. He's so hydrated with it.
Yeah.
It's like formaldehyde.
pickled.
He's pickled.
He's pickled.
Permanently pickled.
Pickled.
Did you watch The Osbournes?
I
The show on
didn't.
MTV?
I only know the Sharon
Sharon!
Yeah.
part.
I watched one episode and I'm like, I want no more of this.
Yeah, I watched one
This is-
episode and I'm like, he did a lot of speaking
Yeah.
in the shows, and you couldn't understand
No.
What
a
are
word
they
he was
even
saying. I'm
saying?
like, no, I
But I'm
can't.
like, this is not how I want to remember Ozzy Osbourne. I love Ozzy, love his music. Also, the worst concert I've ever seen in my
Oh,
life.
no.
Yep.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he was hammered. Actually, two of the worst concerts I've ever
tracks.
seen in my life. I saw him during the Bark at the Moon tour in Portland. His voice was shot. Couldn't sing at all. So he would start the song and then point the microphone to the audience and have them finish the song.
Oh, I hate
boy.
that.
And every now and again, he'd say a couple of words and continue that, and that lasted throughout the entire show. And then I saw him on the on Ozfest.
Just to make sure.
Yeah. Oh, no, I went to Ozfest to see Iron Maiden.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
But
okay.
I went to Phoenix, and Black Sabbath closed out the show, and Ozzy again. He could sing, but he couldn't remember the words to the songs he's been singing for the past 3 decades. So he had a
Sounds about right.
teleprompter on stage.
Oh, my Lord.
And he'd go off to the side of the stage to get the crowd all riled up, and then have to kind of, I wouldn't say run, but he'd
Hustle back?
walk fast back to the teleprompter to sing the rest of the song. It was sad. And this was a long time ago, so I don't know what he's doing now. I don't think he's touring anymore.
Did you see the Ghostbusters movie with Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy?
I have not.
So
seen
there's
it.
a scene in that movie that he appears in where there's like they're hunting a ghost at a concert, and it's like a heavy metal concert, and there's like the ghost has taken the form of this like wild dragon-like being, and they just show him standing off to the side of the stage going, "Sharon, it's happening again." He's like he thinks he's delusional.
Boy.
It's really cute.
Ozzy was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Black Sabbath in 2006 and as a solo artist in 2024. Well, there you go, folks. Those are your FPBs for December the 3rd. Locally owned and locally focused, Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston-Auburn area through 2 magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local. Position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com. Pam,
Yeah.
you're getting back into running.
I'm trying.
There's evidence. You're in your workout clothes.
Yes, it was a very sad morning.
Oh no, what happened?
I tried to run.
How long has
Was
it
there
been?
a bear?
Right? Yeah. No. I love to well, yes, I love to run. I used to run a lot. I've been out of it for quite some time, over a year. I know I've needed to get back into working out. I've taken way too much time off. It's good for me on so many levels.
Yep.
But yeah, today was definitely an eye-opener of it's going to take a minute to get back to where I was. I'll never get back to my prime of running because I just don't have the desire to run like I used to. But
You probably have less time too.
Yes.
To commit to it. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a little rough. I used to get pretty frustrated with myself and have these high expectations and no excuses. And now I'm like, give yourself some grace, Pam. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. You have a reason. You can't just go back to what it was right out of the gate or
How long has it been since you ran?
Regularly.
regularly. Yeah. Regularly. It's definitely been, I probably ran pretty regularly when I first came back from Texas because it was March of 22. And through that spring and summer and fall, I probably did some decent running, but then probably started 23 kind of fell off. And
Yeah.
so I probably haven't run like really regularly like I used to since, I mean, we're looking at almost 2 years now.
Yeah, you gotta start slow.
Yeah.
Gotta start.
It's insane when you think back like
Just
that. I'm like, oh my God.
Don't
so much
even let
time.
the word running
Yeah.
enter your vocabulary now. Just walking and jogging.
Getting on the treadmill is
Yeah.
it. Like, and then making sure you don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
from here.
that's
Yeah.
important.
I do that a lot. Mark knows. Like
Yeah.
I get to that point where I'm like, I need to push to the next step, and then when I do it, I'm like, what did I do?
Why did I do that?
Every other day.
I push every day. I push a little harder every day. Like, what's another 5 pounds? What's another 15 pounds?
Every day you add that? You can't add that.
No, every day I push myself to try.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And some days it's totally a failure, and some days it worked. Like yesterday, I added an extra 5 pounds to a move that I normally do with ease. And when I added the extra 5 pounds, it was like, nope, I did like 8 reps, and then I was like back to what
Yeah.
I was doing before. So it's totally okay to,
Yeah.
you just keep trying.
Yeah, when I was big into running, there was someone that I used to see at all the races, and I asked her one day, I'm like, how do you train? Because she was fast. I'm like, how do you train to get yourself faster? Because I didn't really know, and I tried working with a trainer and things like that, and how do you do it on your own kind of thing. And she had a treadmill, and she said, I just, it was a progress, but she said she would set it to like the fastest sprint she could handle and just try and do that for as long as possible and then tone it back until she felt like she couldn't, sustain that sprint. And then she just, obviously over time, that sprint would last longer and longer and longer and longer.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, interesting.
In my prime, I did hill sprints. That was like the way that I built up endurance. And I would go down to Pettingill Park and, the big hill that goes up from the bottom and then all the way up to Park Ave. I would hill sprint from the bottom of the park all the way up to Park Avenue. And it sucks.
Yeah.
But
So
it makes a difference.
I used to live on a big hill, and I used to do hill sprints, and I'm doing air quotes right now because I was doing this before I did the Tough Mountain Challenge. This was kind of part of my training for that. And I also worked out with BJ Grondin from Prime 360, so I was training with him occasionally. And I told him that I was doing hill sprints, and he goes, are you actually sprinting? And I was like, damn it. Totally not sprinting up a hill. You're right. So, yeah, it's funny.
That's the only time I've ever run on my toes is doing hill sprints.
Yeah.
Because you got to fly.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah, hill sprints are tough.
They are. I can't do them anymore.
No.
I haven't tried, and I have also stopped running, like in the last year, because my hip gives me a hard time. But when I was doing it, I always felt like invincible. Like you finish it, and you're like, "Wow, I did that. That's great."
Running?
Hill sprints.
Hill sprints.
Yeah. I was always surprised when I would get done and be like, "Oh, I did it." And then the best part is just coasting all the way down Gamage Avenue. It's just like feeling like you're flying because it's so easy from there. Good
I was
times.
like you. I used to run all the time. You signed up for every 5K
Yeah.
and I started doing half marathons, and then I did a marathon, and then I got Lyme disease, and then never went back to it.
Yeah.
And just recently, this past summer, we have a treadmill in the garage, and I started every night just doing the treadmill in the garage. And I was telling Sherry, I'm like, everything is better when you're exercising regularly.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Yeah.
Your mental
You feel
health.
better. Your mental health is better. It's just the motivation factor for
For
me.
sure.
I can't.
Yeah, I mean, there were times when I was running, I didn't want to run, but I was like, oh, I need to. And you'd get done. I could literally feel the bad energy
Yep.
just like
going off you. Yeah.
coming off me. Like it was gone. It was exiting my body. It's such a weird thing. So
I've been at the gym for so long that I don't remember who I am.
Prior
Like I know
to-
I didn't like that person.
Yeah.
Like I'm a much happier person. I think I started going to the gym and working out 4 or 5 days a week in 2018. And like I'm a different person.
Yeah.
Like I'm a much more pleasant person to be around. Like my mental health depends
Maybe that's
on
your
that.
secret.
That is,
That's
I think
why you're
it is.
so pleasant.
I think it is. Like I work out with my trainer, but I also work out at home too.
Yeah.
So it's just just don't know who I would be if I didn't.
I had a
Weird, huh?
do we
No,
don't.
I don't think you do. I don't think I was as nice a person. I truly don't.
I want to know that, Sarah.
Just for 5 minutes.
I don't know. People who've known me for a long time might be able to weigh in and say, but I don't know that I was.
You gonna go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Good luck on your journey.
The most humbling experience I've ever had in athletics happened during a 5K in Portland. I was in the best shape of my life, and I wouldn't start a 5K at the front. I'd be like,
no, I never
No,
do.
but I'd be in the top 25% of people in the crowd, in the starting group. I was pretty confident. I was like, I'm doing all right. I think my PR, I don't know, was 22, 23, somewhere
Oh,
around
wow.
there for a 5K.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was in great shape. And then I heard Joan Benoit Samuelson was there. She was like sponsoring the race, and she was like just doing the
Yeah.
meet and greet and stuff. And I went over to just see her, but there was a crowd of people around her, and I just wanted to like be in her presence because
Right.
she's incredible.
And for people who don't know, she's an Olympic runner.
Gold medal.
Yeah.
In the marathon.
Yeah.
Wasn't even close. She blew everyone away, and it was
Amazing.
the first ever women's marathon too
She's
in
amazing.
the Olympics. I think it was in the 80s. But and then I saw Joan was wearing a bib. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty
Oh, it's
awesome.
on?
And I was expecting her to start at the front of the pack and just blow everybody away.
Yeah.
No, the race started, and I'm looking back, and Joan's still there. Like, she's just talking to people, and then she's like, taking her jacket off, getting ready to go, and everyone is still running. And I'm like, oh my God,
She okay?
here comes Joan. And she passed me like we were heading in opposite directions. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life.
I love
because
it.
who knows? She must have been in her 60s, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
yeah, probably.
Yeah. But still running, still doing her thing.
Pretty regularly. Yeah,
And
probably.
I couldn't imagine how fast she was in the 80s.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I almost stopped just to watch her.
Checker form. What do you do?
No, it was just
Like,
that
what do you
impressive.
do?
I've never seen anyone run that fast before in my
Yeah.
life. And
It's-
it just gave you an appreciation for what an Olympic athlete really is.
Yeah.
And obviously, she peaked 30 years prior. And I couldn't imagine how fast she must have been back
so
then.
fast. Do you think that some people are just built to run? Because I don't think my body is built for running. But then you see people running. Like I watch people because my profession is to look at people's gait and make
Yeah.
sure that they're wearing the right shoes for what they're doing. And I watch people run, and it looks like it's so easy for them. Like their body looks fluid, they're comfortable in what they're doing. But I know that when I run, I don't look like that. I know I don't look like that.
Have you ever been analyzed?
Yeah.
Like for your form?
Yeah. I think I've told you, and we probably mentioned it before, I was running all wrong. Like everything I was doing, with the exception of my strike, was wrong. And the only reason that I was doing the strike right is because I coach people when they're, coming in buying them running shoes. Like, remember, you want to hit a midfoot strike or a toe strike. You don't want to strike with your heel. So that was the only reason I was doing that right. But everything else about my body mechanics was off, like way off.
So could you fix it?
Yeah. I went to PT and she fixed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now is your form better?
Yes, much better. And I'm much more efficient as a runner.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you answered your own question.
But I don't know that everybody goes to PT and has somebody say your form is wrong and gets fixed. Like, I think there's just some people who are just like naturally
I think you're right. I think
easy.
I was in a couple of running groups, and there are people that make it look effortless.
Yeah.
But you have to wonder, have they always been that way, or did they get some training?
Yeah.
Did they get some advice?
Well, like my friend Ben Fletcher, who is, he runs, some days he's gone for an hour at lunchtime, and he's running. He's running like 5 or 8 miles during lunchtime. And like, that's what he does. Like, that's just what, that's his thing. And he's been running since high school. He still holds records at EL, and he went to Oregon to train for the Olympics. But you watch him run and it's just like, oh, yep, that's what he's made for. Like, he's built for it. And yes, probably there's a lot of it comes from him having done it for so long, and definitely being used to having somebody train him and tell him.
And being Ralph Fletcher's son.
Right. Right. Sure. Yeah.
That could have something to do with it.
The fact that the whole family is incredibly good at running. But it just does, he makes it look easy. He makes it look effortless. And I know that when I'm running, I don't look like that. Even now, after having gone through PT and having all of the things that I was doing wrong fixed. Like, and you and Pam and I were talking about it before we started recording, but it's just like, there's so much to remember. Well, and that's kind of the point that I'm making. Like, I have to think about it to make sure I'm doing it right. I think there are some people who don't have to. Like, I think it's just natural.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I really love the running community here in Lewiston, Auburn, because everybody's so nice. I don't know if that's true everywhere you go, but the first time I did a race here, I was very overweight, probably 50 pounds overweight. And I was just like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. And my son Leo did it with me. He was 11 at the time, and he ran with me for a little while, and then he just took off. And I knew so many people on the course that I wasn't even the tiniest bit concerned for him. Like, I knew he would run the course and I would see him at the end. My friend Laura was a little bit further ahead, and he ran with her most of the way. And afterwards she was like, he talked to me the whole time we ran. I was like, that's awesome. But it's just a nice community, and I would, encourage anybody who feels like a little bit nervous about running to just sign up for a race and come and see. Like, you can walk it, you can jog it, you can run if you want, you can push your baby stroller, you can do whatever, but just get in and meet the people, because it really is genuinely a kind community. It's a lot of fun to be a part of it.
Or join a group.
Join it. Yeah, there's a bunch. I know Sabatis has a really big run group, and there's Lost Valley. Paula and Jason do like a trail run group there through the summertime on Friday nights, I think. And who doesn't want to go through the trails at Lost Valley on a Friday and then grab a beer at the pub afterwards?
Yeah.
Like, that's fun. It's just, there's so many great places to meet people and find like-minded people, and really you can even start your health journey, because that's where it started for me. And look at me now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a different person.
You are. And it's fairly affordable too. I mean, you need some shoes, in this kind of weather, you need some cold weather gear, but
yeah. You won't be cold for long.
No.
I know. I found that too. Like, layered up, I'm usually by the end of a run in the wintertime, I'm down to just a tank top. And I know I look like a crazy person with like 4 jackets tied around my waist running down the street sweating. But
I used to love running in the rain.
That's my I actually wrote an entire piece, a narrative about running in the rain.
What?
Yeah, I'll share it with you. It's my favorite place to run in the rain is actually at Mount Appetite, because you can hear the way that the rain hits the leaves, and you can hear like there's little brooks that run through, and the squish of it. I love it. I love running in the rain. There's a joke in my family that Sarah likes to run in the rain because you can't see her crying. It's funny.
Winter is on the way, and if you're looking to get your vehicle, home, or health ready for all that Mother Nature has to offer, look no further than Uncle Andy's Digest. You'll find plenty of local businesses that take pride in providing great service at affordable prices. Holiday gift ideas? Yep, we have that too, along with jokes, funny stories, shout-outs, an events calendar, and a whole lot more. Uncle Andy's Digest, your guide to, well, just about anything. Visit uncleandys.com. All right, you want to wrap this up with a few rando questions?
Yes.
All righty. Mark and Sarah edition. Pam had to leave early. What do you got?
All right. If animals could talk, what animal do you think would be the nicest?
It's got to be dogs.
Oh.
It's got to be.
Think about
most dogs.
all dogs of all.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Which animals would be the nicest? Mice.
Oh.
Mice might be pretty nice.
I feel like they'd be super polite. They'd be like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Do you mind if can I just kind of get in here and do this thing? Do you mind if I just eat your
A little
piece?
hungry, a little cold.
Guys, you won't even know I'm here. I'm going with wombat.
Yeah. Tell us why.
Wombats during Australian fires will allow other animals into their burrows to be safe. How cute is that?
How cute is that?
They will be like, no, come on in. It's okay.
Yeah.
Come in here. We can hang out while the grass burns. You don't have a place to go.
Let it all burn down. We're going to be fine.
You come in here with me.
Yeah.
I think the wombat. If not the wombat, the capybara, because they just don't care about nothing.
They're pretty chill.
They're so chill. I watched a video for 5 minutes of a billy goat ramming a capybara, trying to get it off a step, and the capybara just being like, no, and just like moving and being like, stop, no, can you not do that? I imagine the capybara's voice to be like a Midwestern housewife. Like, oh my gosh, can you not do that? Do you want a hot dish? Come over here. We'll have some toast. Like, I feel like that's the capybara.
That's a good one.
Do you guys want to eat some melon? The nicest. Wombats and capybaras.
Yeah. Question 2.
Yeah.
What job would you never want to perform? I think if you've ever watched Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe, you have a couple of good ideas here.
Yeah, actually, the first one that came to mind was from Dirty Jobs. It is the job of cracking the barnacles off the buoys out in the ocean to warn ships of like rocks and low ridges. Oh. It is it's in the ocean, and I don't love that because it's deep ocean.
Yeah.
I don't like being underwater. And also, when you crack a barnacle, we're not talking like little baby barnacles. We're talking about barnacles the size of baseballs. When you crack them off of the metal, it is like an egg cracking. Like there's a being inside that shell. And nope, barnacle cracker. Going with that.
That's it? Barnacle cracker?
Blech. What about you?
I think mine would be bridge painter.
Oh.
Not the outside, the inside.
You have to paint the inside of a bridge?
Yeah, so it doesn't rust.
Oh.
And these guys contort their bodies. And and they're in that space all day long. Oh. They climb down there with a bucket of paint and a brush. And
not even a sprayer?
No. You don't want a sprayer in that. You're so confined.
Oh, man, no, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't be able to breathe after that.
Wouldn't want to do that either.
I never considered myself to be claustrophobic, but I think I would go crazy if I was in that situation. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. I'm sure there are worse jobs out there, but that one immediately comes to mind. I was watching it and I'm like, I couldn't. Yeah. Couldn't do it.
This is a hypothetical. If you punch yourself in the face and it hurts, are you strong or are you weak?
I don't think it means either because it depends on where you punch yourself.
Okay.
If you punch yourself in the nose, you're automatically going to start tearing up. Does that mean you're weak because you're tearing up, or you're strong because you punch yourself in the nose so hard that you're tearing up?
Yeah, this is the.
I don't think there's a right answer to that.
It's a conundrum.
Yeah. But then again, if you punch yourself in the cheek, that's different. I think it depends on the location. Sarah is now punching herself in the cheek.
I know I'm strong. I wouldn't want to punch myself, which I think makes me weak. Like I wouldn't want I wouldn't want somebody of my level of strength to punch me. So I know that makes me weak.
Yeah, plus if you're punching yourself, are you really going all out?
I don't know.
Or are you like, this is going to hurt.
no
I'm
holds
going to let up a little bit. I'm going to go Mike Tyson and Jake Paul on myself.
It makes me think of Jim Carrey for some reason. It's like,
Wow.
I don't know. He's always punching
That's a
himself
weird
in his
one.
movies. Yeah, sorry.
Your questions are the best, though. Thanks to our sponsors, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com. We will catch you tomorrow, Miss Saris.
Okay.
All righty.
After the gym.
Yeah, after the gym, we got the Nords coming in. Then we have Matt Dundas, comedian, coming in on Thursday.
He is one of my most favorite people. I just love him.
Be
I
a
can't
good
wait.
time.
Yep.
Thanks
and
for listening,
Tales.
everybody. And Tasting Tales, too.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, we're going to booze it up. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you tomorrow.